Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is on 9th October 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So to access the lessons at our channel homepage, click on the tab post, then you get access to this post. And this post is having two YouTube playlist links that are having all the training lessons. First one is complete training lessons, and the second playlist, lesson 1.1 to lesson 8.2, are about examples related to all the training videos in the first playlist. So I'm clicking on the first playlist. It is about supply demand zone price action course. Here you have 30 lessons are available. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So my recommendation is you complete the lesson 1.1 and then go back to the examples playlist and complete lesson 1.1, and again you come back, complete lesson 1.2, again you go to the examples playlist, complete lesson 1.2. In this way you proceed, you complete all the lessons. Then it will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader. And also to get all the updates, please join at our Telegram channel. I am providing the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Okay, now I am generating different supply demand zone reports. First I am generating daily and 75 minutes stocks near demand and supply zones so that we can identify high liquidity zones and we can apply high liquidity zone strategy that we learned in lesson 21.3 video. First, daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones. Petronet is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. We got only one stock from this list. I'm giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. So I request you pause the report, study the report, and after that you can proceed to the next reports. Okay, I'm scrolling back, going back. For daily time frame, stocks near to the daily supply zone, we got 15 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. First one is CAMS, daily high liquidity supply zone. It is also having daily high liquidity demand zone. So you may get trade opportunities on either side when a stock is having both zones as high liquidity zones, even though it is stocks near daily high liquidity supply zone. But anyway, this is the first one. The next one is Federal Bank. Next one is Mankind. Naukri. Policy Bazaar. SRF. VBL. So total 7 daily high liquidity supply zones identified from this list. Okay. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity zones from this list. NBCC is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. That's it. So we got only one 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone from this list. Next, for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minute supply zone, we got 16 stocks. Excuse me. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. ABB is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. Axis Bank is having a high liquidity supply zone. Next, Blue Star is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. Next, BSE is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. Next, Canara Bank is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. So that's it. Total how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we got 5 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones from this list. So this is about a high liquidity zone identification from daily and 75 minutes time frame, so that you can apply high liquidity zone strategy that you learned in lesson 21.3.1 video. Okay, next I'm generating NIFTY and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports. Starting with NIFTY, generating a monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column for identifying high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column for identifying the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. You already learned one time frame higher is ITF, one more time frame higher is HTF. And apply the same points for all the supply demand zone chain reports. And also don't forget to pause the video when I am moving from one report to another report, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. Okay, next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. And the nearest demand zone for the current closing price is serial number 24. I will put it in the middle of the page. Okay, so this is a NIFTY supply demand zone chain report. Next, I am generating Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain report. Changing the name to NIFTY Bank. That is nothing but Bank Nifty. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating a weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So this is Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain report. We have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty. Next, I am generating sideways, bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly and daily income trades. So starting with sideways long trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone. You are bullish or bearish or sideways at entry time frame daily. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and enhanced score 11 for sideways, and also I am allowing pierced zones for daily demand zones. If any pierced zone, you can apply pierced zone strategies instead of sideways long trade setup. So total 5 stocks we got, and all the entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. And also you should not forget, you should plan trades only if lesson 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied in these zones. Okay, next sideways short trade setup, daily supply zone and sideways short. We don't have any stocks. Next, bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Daily demand zone, here bullish and minimum odd and enhanced score 12. First 18 stocks in the list, all the entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. Scrolling the list down, total 20 stocks are filtered. Out of these 20 stocks, let us identify high probability trade setup zones based on 2 different strategies that you learned in lesson 27. First filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is daily and weekly demand zone confluence. By enabling the filter, out of 18 we got 17 stocks. In all the 17, all these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. And the weekly trend, ITF trend, is uptrend in all the stocks. So further I am going to filter based on EMA confluence on weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. So we got 14 stocks. So these 14 daily demand zones are having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. This is based on the first strategy. And as per the second strategy, let us filter based on LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence and HTF EMA confluence. Removing ITF EMA filter. First, let us set all the 3 demand zone confluence filters, daily and weekly, daily and monthly, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. By enabling all the 3 filters, daily, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, daily and weekly and monthly demand zones are overlapped with each other, except the 5th one. Remaining are having uptrend, first 4. Let's further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, and trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So 3 stocks are filtered. So these 3 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, this is bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Daily supply zone, bearish, zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and enhanced score 12. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks. Entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. Let's filter any high probability trade setup daily supply zones from this list. First one, LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Only one stock is filtered. So this daily supply zone overlapped with weekly supply zone, but weekly trend is a downtrend. Let's further filter with EMA Confluence and weekly demand zone. Weekly demand zone with weekly weekly supply zone, because this is bearish trade setup, so trade should be on the supply zone. So weekly supply zone with weekly EMA. So it is filtered. So this daily supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. It is supporting bearish trade setup, and also it is listed in the stocks near daily supply zone. Okay, next filter is LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. Removing ITF, EMA filter in the supply zone confluence. 3 filters I have to set: daily and weekly, daily and monthly, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. By enabling all the 3 filters, we got the same stock. That means this daily supply zone overlapped with weekly, further overlapped with monthly. But monthly trend is sideways. So based on the second strategy, we can't list this. But first strategy, it is already listed as a high probability trade setup, supported stock. Okay, this is a bullish trade setup, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. So we have completed monthly income trade reports. Next, I will generate weekly income trade reports. Entry time frame, 75 minutes entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways. At 75 minutes, I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement, violated opposing zone, minimum order enhance score 11. Third filter we are adding, that is 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter, at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count is 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced, which is on 75 minutes demand zone, whatever we select here. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. Okay, next sideways short trade setup, the changes are 75 minutes supply zone and here sideways short. Let's filter. We got 5 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 75 minutes supply zones. Okay, next bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. 75 minutes demand zone, we are bullish, minimum order enhance score 12. We got 15 stocks and all the entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. Bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Out of these 15 75 minutes demand zones, let us identify high probability trade setup 75 minutes demand zones, based on 2 different strategies that you learned in lesson 27. Okay, first one is the LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is the 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. By applying the filter, we got 11 stocks. In all the 11 stocks, all these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with the daily demand zone. And daily trend, ITF trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So we can further filter again based on daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. 6 stocks are filtered. So these 6 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next, LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence and then HTF EMA confluence. Removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set: 75 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and weekly, daily and weekly demand zone Confluence. By enabling all the three filters, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones overlapped with daily demand zone, both together overlapped with weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is uptrend in the first 2 stocks and the last one, 3 stocks. Out of these 3 uptrend stocks, let us verify weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And at the same time, trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. One stock is filtered. So this 75 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. So this is about bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. The changes are 75 minute supply zone. Here bearish, zone achievement VOZ, minimum order enhances score 12, and 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 5 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. And all the entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. So out of these 5 75 minute supply zones, let us identify high probability trade setup 75 minute supply zones based on 2 different strategies that you learned in lesson 27. The first one is LTF and ITF supply zone Confluence, and then ITF EMA Confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone Confluence enabled. First we will filter. All 5 are filtered. And trend, ITF trend, that is daily trend is down. So further we will filter based on daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. One stock is filtered. So this 75 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next filter is LTF, ITF and even HTF supply zone Confluence, and then HTF EMA Confluence. I removed ITF EMA filter. The supply zone Confluence, 3 filters we have to set. That is 75 and daily, 75 minutes and weekly, daily and weekly supply zone Confluence. By enabling all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In both the stocks, these 75 minute supply zones overlapped with the daily supply zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. And also weekly trend is downtrend in both the stocks. So let's further filter based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence. One stock is filtered. So this 75 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, the higher chances of zone violation. So this is about weekly income trade. Next, I will generate daily income trade. For sideways long trade setup for daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. Here bullish or bearish or sideways at 15 minutes. I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum order enhances score 11 for sideways, and also 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0 I am setting. So with these filters, we got only one stock. Entry time frame 15 minutes demand zone. Next one is sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. The changes are 15 minutes supply zone and one more change, sideways short. We got 2 stocks. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zone. You should plan trade only if lesson 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation for sideways trade setups. Okay, next bullish trade setup for daily income trade changes are 15 minutes demand zone. Here bullish and minimum odd and hands score should be 12. Let's filter. We got 13 stocks. And out of these 13, all the demand zones are 15 minutes demand zones. So out of these 13, 15 minutes demand zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? Based on two different zone confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So first one is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, and then ITF EMA confluence. First demand zone confluence 15 minutes and 75 minutes. By enabling the filter, we got 7 stocks. In all the 7, ITF trend is uptrend. So let's further filter based on 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Let's filter. We got 4 stocks. So these 4 15 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provided lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next filter is LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence, and then HTF EMA confluence. I am removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I am setting. 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone some mistake I made earlier. Yes, this is demand zone. So please ignore the previous report. So previously I set supply zone confluence. That is the mistake. I am removing this filter, enabling 15 minutes. I am again generating LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. We got 12 stocks. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Out of these 12, the 75 minutes trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So further I am filtering based on EMA confluence at 75 minutes demand zone with the daily EMA confluence. So 4 stocks are filtered. So these 4 15 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provided lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. So this is the first strategy. Okay, next second strategy, LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence, and then HTF EMA confluence. Let us generate those reports, removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. 15 minutes and 75 minutes, 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. By enabling all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together overlapped with daily demand zone. But daily trend is uptrend in only one stock. Let's verify if this stock daily demand zone having daily EMA or not. And at the same time, trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So no high probability trade setup based on the second strategy. So this is bullish trade setup. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zone. Bullish or bearish at 15 minutes I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd and hands score 12 for bullish or bearish, and 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame I am setting minimum value 0 maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. Supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15-minute supply zone. Out of these 3 stocks, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will filter based on different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that you learned in lesson 27. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. By enabling the filter, we got all the 3. And the ITF trend is down in all the 3. Let's further filter based on EMA confluence at 75 minute supply zone. 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. So we got 2 stocks. So these 2 15-minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. And the second strategy is LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence and then HTF EMA confluence. Let's filter based on that. Removing ITF EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I am setting. 15 minutes and 75 minutes. 15 minutes and daily. 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. By enabling all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. Out of these 2, second one is having the daily trend is downtrend. So that's why let's verify EMA confluence at daily time frame by enabling daily supply zone having daily EMA, and the trend on the daily should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So no stocks are filtered. So this is about bearish trade setup for daily income trade. We have completed all the 3 income trade reports. Next I will generate stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames, starting with yearly. Stocks near yearly demand zone, we don't have any stocks. Stocks near yearly supply zone also, we don't have any stocks. Price closed inside yearly demand zone, we got 3 stocks. Next, price closed inside yearly supply zone, no stocks. Next time frame half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near half yearly supply zone, also no stocks. Price closed inside half yearly demand zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, price closed inside half yearly supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near quarterly supply zone, we got 1 stock. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got 21 stocks. Let's further filter based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. We got 12 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 14 stocks. Let's further filter based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. We got 4 stocks. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone, we got 2 stocks. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone, we got 3 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone, First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So we got 27 stocks. Let's further filter this based on EMA Confluence on monthly demand zone. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. We got 12 stocks. Okay, next price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. 30 stocks we got. Let's further filter based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. So we got 8 stocks. Next time frame is weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone. We got 16 stocks, but first 15 in the list. Scrolling the list down. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 36 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down trend. So first 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 19 stocks are filtered. Okay, next price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 51 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now the list is reduced. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 18 stocks are filtered. So this is about weekly time frame. The next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 75 minute supply zone. We got 12 stocks. Next time frame 75 minutes already generated. So 25 minutes time frame stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. We got 9 stocks. Next, stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Next time frame 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 7 stocks. Next, stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Next time frame 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone. We got 6 stocks. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. And final report, I am generating stop buffer based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, pause the video. Once you study, you proceed further. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So total, this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.